the training will end. Soon, both fighters will know if their hard work, their pain, and their sweat has paid off. The moment will have come for the talking to cease. The time when fearsome words are replaced with fists of fury. To be decided, the most prestigious title in boxing.
Let's get ready to rumble!
On November 13th, Evander Holyfield meets Riddick Bowe for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
I truly believe that it's the right time for me, and I will be ready.
Oh, what a right hand by Holyfield!
When it's all said and done, I will be the new undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Hard right hand shot by Bowe, and Holyfield wobbles in the corner. The champion in trouble. Oh, what a sensational right cross Holyfield landed to start this rally. Look at the will of Evander Holyfield.
In boxing, a champion can only achieve greatness and earn respect by overcoming an equal. For it's not the titles or the victories we remember, as much as the arduous battles. Soon, Evander Holyfield will confront his toughest challenge, a personal moment of truth.
Let's get it on! Another right hand lands flush. Another left hook. And a right. Two right hands by Bowe. This crowd is getting more than its money's worth. Oh, what a right hand by Holyfield!
The countdown to Holyfield Bowe has begun. And now, from our studios in New York, your hosts, Jim Lampley, Larry Merchant, and George Foreman.
Welcome. For the next 30 minutes, we'll be examining from various angles a heavyweight championship fight that is marked in one particular way. The first time Evander Holyfield will have entered the ring against a rising star contender. In the eyes of many, and with all due respect to present company, his first truly legitimate heavyweight championship defense. Larry Merchant, is there a chance here for Holyfield to earn in one fell swoop the kind of respect which has eluded him as champ so far?
Well, let me go out on the limb. Maybe. It depends. It depends really on the kind of fight it is. If Holyfield wins a sensational Hagler-Hearns type of fight, sure. In a sense, Holyfield is the victim, happily a very rich victim, of the expectations placed on heavyweight champions. People want the heavyweight champion to be dominant and exciting. And he happens to follow just such a star, Mike Tyson, much as Larry Holmes followed Muhammad Ali. It took a long time for Holmes to get his recognition. This is a chance for Holyfield to start to get his.
And another chance for all of us to share in the unique circus of excitement that is a heavyweight championship fight, something about which you know everything, George, and we know how Holyfield handles all the distractions inherent in an event like this. How will Bowe respond?
It's going to be pretty hard on him, but at the same time, it can benefit him. The press, they want to know how big your feet are, how tall you are. You got to look good for them every day. There's a lot of pressure. It can make you run, but if his managers and trainers are able to corral him, tell him to say the right things at the right time, he can benefit because he's thinking about a fight. Evander Holyfield is thinking about social statements.
And thinking about his unique identity as heavyweight champion and all the pressure that it has placed upon him. It has been, in 25 months so far for Holyfield, a heavyweight championship reign largely without respect.
My wife, she told me I was 1 in a million. I found out she was right. That's the story of my life. No respect. I got no respect at all. You kidding? No respect at all. You kidding?
Still, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
Everybody I beat, something have to be wrong with them, and they never give me the credit of being, you know, the boxer that I am. They didn't think I was going to be Buster Douglas. Didn't think I was going to beat George Foreman.
Another left hook and a right.
They actually don't think that I can actually beat anybody who could fight.
This is how it began for Evander Holyfield, a 2-year reign atop the heavyweight division that has been a series of no-win propositions.
And if Evander Holyfield were on a crusade for respect, certainly he's earned it in many ways tonight.
Well, I don't know if you get it. A lot of people will say, beat an old man, slow old man, couldn't knock him out, and so forth.
A lot of people will say only, what'll he do against Mike Tyson? That question will haunt him for a long time.
There's a strong chance if it gets delayed too much that the fight's not going to take place because Mr. Tyson's going to be incarcerated.
That's right, and we're sure as hell not going to fight him in prison, that's for sure.
Ultimately, the replacement for Tyson was Bert Cooper, an erratic boxer, former drug addict, another no-win proposition, and a near disaster.
And Holyfield wobbles in the corner. The champion in trouble. Cooper bangs away. Holyfield almost goes down. Now Holyfield rips another uppercut, and Cooper standing stuck still. This could be it now. Mills Lane had seen enough.
Holyfield's easiest route to respect, a defeat of Mike Tyson, is closed off, perhaps for good. His only apparent peer now in jail.
I told promoters no. I do not want to fight Larry Holmes. They said, well, why not? You know, it's easy money. I said, no, forget it, man. I'm tired of people laughing, joking about I'm fighting older people. And a week later, they said, I tell you what, would you fight the winner of Larry Holmes and Ray Mercer? Well, yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that.
Shocking the boxing world, especially Holyfield, Holmes upsets Mercer. Now, against a flabby 42-year-old, Holyfield, bloodied by a Holmes elbow, wins by decision, but damages his faltering reputation.
Image is everything.
I don't say he wears a white hat. I wouldn't, you know, but he's not a gangster. And everybody loves a gangster, but he's not a gangster.
You look at Holyfield and you remember Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson was so explosive, and you kept waiting for the bomb to go up. With Holyfield, you don't have that. He's a wearing down of people. And Larry Holmes had the same problem when he followed Ali.
They charged both Holmes and Holyfield with the job of following a charismatic figure. In the late 50s, Floyd Patterson was in the same predicament, following the undefeated reign of the legendary Rocky Marciano. And then there was Ezzard Charles, heavyweight champion from 1949 to 51, sandwiched between Marciano and another titan, Joe Louis. Greatness may yet come for Evander Holyfield, but he must soon overcome worthy opposition.
If there were more suitable opponents around, he would be fighting them and he would be beating him. Because Holyfield can rise to any occasion. And he's proven that time and time again.
This man with a warrior's heart seems at peace outside the ring, committed to his children, to his ordinary pursuits, unfazed by his critics, prepared to accept that he may never face the ultimate challenge of Mike Tyson.
But they don't understand. Mike Tyson never fought Muhammad Ali. Things like that happen. People how they different they are. It was great when he was great. He did all that he could do. Now it's my time.
Now for Evander Holyfield, a heavyweight champion seeking undisputed respect. There is just this, a renewed zeal as he prepares to face Riddick Bowe. The real deal finally has a real contender.
While some have criticized the opponents in Holyfield's title defenses, the upside has been that these same opponents have made the champion a very wealthy man. Against George Foreman, Holyfield earned $21 million. Against Bert Cooper, $5 million. And for the fight with Larry Holmes, $18 million. Holyfield's ring earnings for his 3 title defenses, $44 million. Who could argue with those numbers?
So it's $44 million and counting for Evander Holyfield. With the take from this defense, he'll push it into the neighborhood of $60 million. Larry, he's taken a lot of criticism, but it sure has worked out well at the bank.
That's the good news. And now there's even better news. While he's been fighting very winnable fights, young challengers like Riddick Bowe have been developing into better fighters and bigger attractions. And now he has the incentive in Bowe that champions sometimes need to get their motors really racing. And in fairness to Holyfield, we should also state that he wanted to fight Mike Tyson and Ray Mercer. Neither of them showed up for different reasons.
And indeed, other young challengers have been aching to get at him in the meantime, while his corner defends him by saying, George, that he fights only to the level of his opposition. Is there a danger in this challenge which can make him want more than ever to be bigger, better, more spectacular?
A great danger, the danger of trying to be accepted as a fighter. He's been rescued on many times by the instructions of his corner. And he knows that, and the public knows that. He's got to go out there and prove it, which means I close my ear to my corner. I'm going to fight and be heavyweight champ of the world. That's dangerous.
And as you know better than the rest of us, George, all heavyweight champs are like big fish surrounded by sharks in the water. In the case of Riddick Bowe, this shark, perhaps to his great benefit, has waited longer than most to make his strike.
Well, champ, it's been said that you're not the man that you once was. Well, Howard, I spoke to your wife last week, and she says you're not the man you once was. I'll leave with something else.
It was from watching his idol, Muhammad Ali, that Riddick Bowe adopted his love of the sweet science. But a wise man once gave him a bit of advice.
Listen, now, you don't want to be a second-hand Muhammad Ali. You want to be a first-hand Riddick Bowe. And let the other fellas copy your style.
All kidding aside, that's what Bowe has set out to do. Serious, committed. Bowe has patiently waited for his shot at the title. His focus now is on only one thing: becoming undisputed heavyweight champion.
It's just been a dream for about 12 years now. And I guess when your dream is finally about to come true, it's not hard to focus.
Bowe's dream began back in the Brownsville section of Brooklyn, in a housing project most referred to as Gunsmoke City. Rather than to build character, it was an environment which destroyed people. As an amateur, he had the physical skills to be a great boxer, but many sense he lacked the commitment and the mental attitude necessary to become a champion.
He was a brash young kid out of Brooklyn, you know, big mouth, but he always had talent, you know. I thought he had talent, but his attitude wasn't right.
At the 1988 Olympics, Bowe was favored to win the gold medal. When he lost out to Lennox Lewis, the critics took aim. Bowe's future potential was greatly devalued in the eyes of everybody watching him, except one, Rock Newman.
At one point, right before the Olympics, I was talking with Butch Lewis, and somewhere between the beginning of the Olympics and the end of the Olympics, I guess he went sour on me. And so Rock realized that, you know, I had a lot of potential. And he said he could make me the heavyweight champion of the world.
Early in his career, and even before his first pro fights, and even now, people question his heart, his character. And that's such a joke to me, because I know the surroundings that he had growing up. And it was a life of poverty and violence and crime, and it is amazing how he came through it all unscarred.
What began as a devastating experience turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Rock Newman offered the young fighter the guidance he needed and helped to reestablish the confidence Bowe had lost. Together they set out to do what was necessary to take Riddick to the top. Only one piece of the puzzle was missing. Enter boxing's premier trainer, Eddie Futch.
Rock called me from D.C. and I was up in Reno, and at that time training another fighter. And he said he wanted to talk to me about Riddick Bowe. I said, go ahead, it's your nickel.
Eddie promptly told me that, you know, he didn't have any time to waste, and he didn't think that Riddick had the kind of attitude that it would take to absorb his method of training.
He said a lot of things that made me interested in the boy, to see what kind of person he really was. So I asked him to send him up to Reno. Let me talk to him personally.
At the beginning, when he started working with me, he said, well, you know, I don't have time for games. And if you're going to work, then work. If not, let me know if you're going to play games.
Rather than rush their fighter, Newman and Futch brought Riddick around slowly, allowing him to mature and to improve with each and every fight. 31 fights, 27 knockouts, no losses. Planned or unplanned, this slow and steady formula has inexorably brought Bowe to his shot at the undisputed heavyweight championship.
Big Daddy Bowe!
For the last 4 years, we worked extremely hard. We even took fights where we wasn't paid. We was criticized. People talked about us, and they said what we was doing couldn't be possible. But you look up, and they let us slip through the cracks. And now we're there. I'm about to become the heavyweight champion of the world.
Experience and confidence have helped to enhance Bowe's readiness for Evander Holyfield. But the undisputed title would be the payoff mostly for patience.
Still to come, we'll take a look at how styles make fights. And Larry Merchant and George Foreman are joined by boxing analyst Gil Clancy as they talk strategy for the November 13th showdown.
31 fights already for Riddick Bowe, a marked contrast to many other young heavyweight challengers, although you, George, had 37 fights before you went into the ring with Frazier. How big a help to Bowe will all this experience be?
Great. Sugar Ray Robinson was known as a natural fighter only because he was fighting all the time. It became natural for him. Riddick Bowe, he can keen in on that same kind of advice. He's been in the ring a lot. He's not going to be surprised with the roar of the crowd. He's not going to be shocked with the feeling of the small gloves. His skills are probably going to be a lot better because of the 31 boxing matches.
I'm sure you're right, but I have to wonder how much of this is just pure lucky timing. Larry, are we giving Rock Newman too much credit for his management job?
Not at all. I think he can't get enough credit, really. That 31 wins for Riddick Bowe is really a numerical symbol of a terrific managing job by Newman, one of the best I've seen in recent years. By bringing in Eddie Futch and then working patiently to help Bowe mature, Newman now has a well-schooled, confident challenger ready to give his best effort. And since many fighters get good advice but don't listen to it, high marks also to Riddick Bowe for listening, for learning, and for doing the fighting.
One thing sticks out like a sore thumb. Comedian and social crusader Dick Gregory as nutritional expert.
Well, Dick Gregory is a kind of nutritionist guru, and Riddick Bowe does have a problem with his diet, with eating too much. Big kid, big appetite, so maybe he can help. I suspect, George, that if Dick Gregory showed up in your camp, you'd put him between 2 slices of whole wheat bread and eat him.
It's strange because I've had a meeting or two with Dick Gregory.
Have you?
But it seems that he's committed to a whole life change with diet, not something that can benefit a fighter getting ready for a title match. It's a commitment, a whole life commitment.
Dick Gregory's nutrition, not really your style. And they say that styles make fights, but in this case, the differences in style are both tactical and personal.
In boxing, how opponents fight, how they match up, often determines who wins. Similar styles can lead to inevitable excitement.
Holyfield rips another uppercut and Cooper standing stock still. Target practice.
Contrasting styles can lead to anticlimax. Great fights pair boxers whose styles match their skills and whose abilities are accompanied by champions' hearts.
I'm bigger, I'm stronger, and I'm faster. And there's no way I can lose.
If I get into a fight that I have to be aggressive, I will. And somehow I truly believe that Riddick Bowe gonna make me fight that type fight, and people gonna see me get real aggressive.
Speed, toughness, and a reservoir of will have become Evander Holyfield's signature inside the ring as he continues to reinforce his fine-tuned body. With experience, he has evolved into a classic boxer-puncher, taking calculated risks from a defensive posture. It's a style Team Holyfield is confident will work against this challenger.
Bowe can be beat easily with styling. Once we start outboxing him, we'll outpunch him. And once we outpunch him, it's all over.
But Bowe and his people will tell you that he indeed has skills comparable to Holyfield's. Call it arrogance or call it confidence.
Riddick Bowe is a tremendous, awesome fighting machine. And there's no way that Evander Holyfield can match up.
So far as a professional, people haven't been able to see me display my boxing skills, you know. I guess because most guys, when we fight, they usually, run. So maybe Evander will come out and apply that pressure like he said he would, and you guys will see me get to bounce around for a little while.
But in this fight, it may ultimately come down to who can best withstand the other fighter's onslaught.
Oh, look at that. These are awesome punches. Oh, what a bomb that uppercut was.
Holyfield is a natural-born warrior. Bowe has all the tools to be a great heavyweight. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's quick, but he's never had that pressure that Holyfield is going to put on him. He's going to hit Holyfield, and Holyfield's just going to be right in his face.
When a guy's fighting, it's easy for me to take him out.
When I hit him with my first punch, he's not going to know what hit him.
All the fights that I ever knocked somebody out because they were trying to knock me out.
He said he's going to put a lot of pressure on me. I just want to see how he's going to react when I go upside his head.
In boxing, where a war of words precedes every contest, any verbal advantage is moot on the night of the fight. It's the styles and skills that matter come November 13, although sometimes it's the intangibles which determine the outcome.
Let's find out about who wants it more. I want to see when Evander Holyfield puts a combination together and knocks Bowe down. I want to see whether Bowe's going to get up. That's a sign of a champion. Not whether you get knocked down or not, but whether you get up or not. That's a sign of a champion.
It's going to be a walk. If I get knocked down, I'll get up. If he gets knocked down, he'll stay down.
The undisputed heavyweight championship of the world to be decided November 13th.
For their heavyweight championship fight, here's how the two fighters match up. Bowe, at 25 years of age, is 5 years younger than the champion. At 6'2½", Holyfield is 2.5 inches shorter than the challenger. On November 13th, Bowe plans on entering the ring at 235 pounds, 25 pounds heavier than the champ. And when they stand at arm's length, Bowe holds a 3.5-inch reach advantage.
So Riddick Bowe is younger, bigger, maybe stronger. That doesn't win fights. Here to talk about what will happen in the ring, our Larry Merchant and George Foreman with Madison Square Garden boxing analyst and famous trainer, Gil Clancy.
Thanks, Jim. George, a heavyweight fight usually begins with and ends with one thing: power. From your first-hand experience with Evander Holyfield, does he have the kind of power that can knock out a big man like Riddick Bowe with one punch? Can he take the best one punch of a Riddick Bowe?
Can he take it? I've been in there with him. Surely he can take a punch better than any heavyweight I've been in the ring with. Does he have the power to knock a big man like that out? 1-2 combination? No way. I don't see it happening.
Conversely, from your second-hand experience of watching Riddick Bowe, does he have the power to do that to Evander Holyfield? Can he take Evander Holyfield's best shots?
Riddick Bowe has got an excellent opportunity. If he put together any two-punch combination, he can not only knock Evander Holyfield out, but have him reeling pretty early in the fight. He can do it. But it's a big question mark. Is he durable enough over the long distance, 10, 11, 12 rounds? Can he continue to take the combination that Evander Holyfield is capable of throwing out? I don't know.
Gil, you've watched Riddick Bowe since his amateur days. Are there unanswered questions for you still?
I think there are, Larry. Riddick Bowe is a big, strong, well-schooled heavyweight. But I have to question his punching power. Number one, Pierre Kutzer, he hit him at everything but the kitchen sink. Clean punches right on the chin. If he's a real good, solid punching heavyweight, the guy should have been out of there in a round or two, and he wasn't. Number two, I have to question his ability to take a punch. Tony Tubbs has never been known as a puncher, and he had Riddick Bowe in serious trouble in that fight. So the unanswered questions are still out there.
George, do you think that Riddick Bowe has the kind of ability to take a punch that comes from here and keep coming in the face of hard punches as you did against Holyfield, against Alex Stewart? Nothing discouraged you in those fights. Do you sense that Bowe has that?
I think that lately he's starting to align himself with some issues and people socially that can give him the kind of endurance to keep taking it and keep staying in there. Lately he's associated himself with Dick Gregory, who's a guy who's socially conscious. You got to have a reason to stand there and take that punishment and keep going. Lately, I think prior to now, he maybe had not any reasons, but now I think good reasons are going to materialize.
Gil, as a trainer, how would you advise each fighter to fight the other?
Well, if I was in Holyfield's corner, I'd tell him to use his faster hands and faster feet, move around the ring, get angles, and hit Bowe with combination punches. If I was in Bowe's corner, I'd tell him to use his size and strength. Try to take Holyfield inside and hit him with the best punch he has, in my opinion, which is a right-hand uppercut. If he nails Holyfield with that punch, then maybe Holyfield would be in trouble.
And Holyfield does have a tendency when he gets hit, not to move and do all the things you say, but to hit right back.
But, you know, as George Foreman had pointed out, it is dangerous for the Holyfield to have that kind of competitive spirit, but it works to his advantage. When he gets nailed a solid shot, he never lets you get on top. He grits his teeth and comes back. That's the ability he has.
Give me your winner, George.
I pick Riddick Bowe. I think he's going to knock Evander Holyfield out somewhere between the 9th and 10th round.
Are you sure that expert opinion isn't coming from the heart? Because Bowe might fight you if he wins?
Oh, no.
Gil, give me your winner.
I think Evander Holyfield is going to win the fight. He's going to hit Riddick Bowe with a lot of combinations, wear him out, and probably get him out of there in the 10th or 11th round.
Thank you again, Gil, for appearing with us, and thank you, George, for your expert opinion as well. I'm going to break the tie, I guess, with this comment. Riddick Bowe is big, he's strong, he's unbeaten. Going into this fight, this great opportunity, he has a lot going for him. He could be the next heavyweight champion. Wouldn't surprise anyone. But trying to pick a winner, I'm reminded of a baseball manager who once stuck with a stumbling pitcher in a World Series game. He explained afterward that he had stuck with that pitcher because he had a commitment to his heart. I have a commitment to Evander Holyfield's heart. Jim?
Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Gil and George. Irony. Through 3 years of Evander Holyfield's upward mobility in the heavyweight division, he appeared destined for a title showdown with a heavyweight from the Brownsville section of Brooklyn. That heavyweight was named Mike Tyson, and that showdown now seems unlikely ever to take place. Instead, after 2 years of inconclusive dominion over the heavyweight division, Holyfield now prepares for the kind of challenge which might finally begin to erase public memories of Tyson's dominance. And across the ring is another heavyweight from the Brownsville section of Brooklyn. Is Evander Holyfield on the verge of making his real mark in heavyweight history? Or is Brooklyn's Riddick Bowe poised to begin filling the excitement vacuum left behind by Tyson's enforced absence? We're about to find out. Now, a program reminder. Be sure to watch Evander Holyfield defend his undisputed heavyweight title against Riddick Bowe live on TVKO Friday, November 13. And also be sure to join Len Dawson, Nick Buoniconti, and Chris Collinsworth every Thursday for HBO's Inside the NFL. Now for Larry Merchant and George Foreman, I'm Jim Lampley, saying thank you for watching.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports, a network of champions.